Alright, so we're back in the garage for another part of the TRX 450 teardown. Right now I had just gotten it out of the four-wheeler and was just starting to take it apart. So here I am taking the timing chain off of it, and then we're going to be moving to taking the cam tower off of it here in just a second. One thing it's important to do whenever you're taking the cam tower off of it, the intake shims always stick up inside of the cam buckets from all the oil residue. So be careful not to let them slip out and fall down into the engine. I've moved on to taking the head bolts loose, and usually my low impact will zip them right off. But as I wander in circles looking for my 3/8 ratchet, I shortly realized that somebody drastically over tightened them. 40 foot-pounds to the best of my memory is the torque spec on them, and it took just about everything I had to get them to break loose with the 3/8 ratchet. And 40 foot-pounds isn't much, so usually they come loose pretty easy. Now that I finally got them all broke loose, I just grab my low impact gun and zip them the rest of the way off, and then you usually have to dig the little washers that go underneath of them out. They usually stick inside the cylinder head and the oil residue. There's also on the side of the cylinder head, and then there's also one on the cylinder itself. There's two little 8mm headed bolts on the cylinder head that help hold it down. You can get to them with a ratchet and extension pretty easy. And then the one coolant line there at the bottom of the thermostat housing still has to be taken off. I just pulled the guide out of it and threw it on the ground, and there I am taking that little bolt that I mentioned out, and the tensioner as well. A lot of this stuff I'm just throwing in a pile on the ground because it's going in the trash. Pretty much everything going into this engine, excluding the transmission, is brand new. It was such a terrible failure, I didn't see where I could clean anything up and save it. It was just easier to buy new. So now, there's a bit of a pain in the butt with the bearing failure that I had in the bottom end, and I'm getting ready to show it to you. If you look on the left-hand side of the crank, you can see where that bearing blew out on the journal. So now I'm taking the starter out. I am going to reuse it and setting it aside. My garage is an absolute disaster. We're right in the heart of race season, and between keeping the boys' four-wheelers going and then mine blowing up, I've got crap scattered everywhere. So I spend more time walking in circles looking for tools than I do getting any work done. And then on top of that, the kids are always in and out playing with tools, so it's a never-ending battle trying to keep everything I need close by. I didn't move my camera around, but here all I'm doing is taking the case saver off of it, and the shifter, and probably the sprocket as well. At this point, I'm realizing that I forgot to, in the heat of the moment, getting my swing arm bolt undone and getting the engine out, I forgot to drain the oil out of both sides of the engine, so I'm working it over to the edge of the table so I can drain the transmission side, and then I was also able to do the same thing with the engine side. Now that I got all the oils drained out of it, I'm going to start working my way around the clutch side cover here, pulling all the bolts out of it. And there is one bolt that goes through the water pump that's real long. I just pulled it out there that holds the side cover on. Now that I got the side cover off, I'm going to start working on taking all the clutch stuff out of it. I really wish I had moved my camera so that I could have got down here and shown some more detail, but it is what it is. I've been kind of in a hurry. This was late at night. I've been working on it when I'm in the evenings when I get off work and stuff, so just doing what I can when I can. Right now I'm looking around for my 27mm socket to take the clutch basket center hub out of it, and I just had it working on somebody else's four-wheeler right before the previous race, so I know it's around, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I ended up going and buying a new one, and then right after I used it, I found the one that I lost. Not being able to find that socket pretty well sealed off the work for the night, so I went the next morning after I dropped the oldest boy off at school and bought a new one to use, and we'll pick up the next morning on that project. So I dropped the ball in a little bit of filming. I don't know if I forgot to hit record or my GoPro went dead, but I got all the clutch and starting components out of it, and here I'm talking about I've gotten this engine tore down to this point right here with just a couple of sockets and a couple ratchets, and now it's time to use the first specialty tool, a special socket to take the little 4-point nut off of the counterbalancer. The next thing I'm doing here is I'm getting ready to pull this little shifting wheel off of the end of the shift drum. Um, it's just a 12mm socket and slides right out. It's got a dowel pin on it to help line it up. Now we're around to the stator side. We're going to zip these bolts off, and that, like I said, that top oil filter cover bolt does go all the way through the stator into the case to hold the stator cover on. They're a bit of a bear to get to pop sometime since the flywheel is basically a giant magnet, but once it pops loose off the dowel pins, you can usually get your fingers in it and pull it right off. So you will need a flywheel puller for this, as the horn on the crank there is tapered and it has a key in it. So I've got my flywheel puller out and it threads onto the crank, and it has a little pin that screws up the middle of it to pop it off. Just a couple quick hits with an impact and it usually slides right off there. So here I'm pulling the timing chain out of it and getting ready to pull the balancer out. And that balancer has to be turned a certain way so that the counterweight on it is towards the 9 o'clock position, then it'll slide right out. And it goes in the same direction as well. Here I'm taking the little bitty snap ring off the oil pump gear, and it is tiny and it is a pain in the butt. And there's just absolutely no good way to get it. I think I ended up getting a flathead screwdriver and a punch, and actually a little pick that I was able to get it out with. And it's one of those ones that's easy to send flying and to lose, so be careful with it. So I finally get that little clip off, and then pull the gear off. And behind the gear, the oil pump shaft has a little pin in it that's a key for the gear to turn it. I slide it out, and then there's also a hold down fork in there for the oil pump pickup. And get all that stuff out of the way, and then we'll be headed over to start zipping all the case bolts out that hold it together. One of these days I'll break down and get one of those cool engine stands for the TRX engines and go farting around with blocks of wood like I'm doing here. I fought with these things the entire time I was taking this engine apart and putting the new one together. So now we're going to start zipping out all the bolts that hold the case halves together. Quite a few of these have copper washers on them, so keep careful tabs on those. Maybe draw them out on a piece of paper or something, or make a mark next to them so you can keep track of them. It is important to put those back where they came from. The four that are on the inside of the stator cover are easy to keep track of because they're clean, and the ones on the outside are usually pretty dirty looking. That's what I'm doing here is I'm turning it around so that the shifter side is down when you pull them apart. You turn them so that the stator cover is down or the shifter side, and then when you separate the cases, the transmission will stay in place where it's so it doesn't come falling crashing out of the cases on you and falling apart. There's a lot of pieces in that transmission that are easy to lose track of. So here I've gone and got the third specialty tool that you need to split a case. It's an actual case splitter. Whatever you do, do not try and beat them apart with a hammer or drive screwdrivers in between the cases. The probably $25 or $30 that case splitter cost, it's worth every penny to use it. That way you don't have to worry about breaking cases or anything like that. Is what I'm doing with the ratchet that I have in my hand is sometimes they'll hang up on one of the dowel pins when it's coming apart. So you can put a little bit of pressure with the case puller and then tap on the other side, and it'll kind of vibrate its way off of the other dowel pin that it's stuck on. But I later realized that I was just being stupid, and I put the transmission drain bolt back in it, and that was what was holding it together this whole time. Luckily, it didn't hurt anything or separate or to pull it apart. So here in a minute, I take that out, and then it slides right apart like it's supposed to. One thing it's important to keep tabs on here, as it slides apart, sometimes the primary shaft and transmission, the one that the clutch goes on, will try to come out with it. So just, I don't know if you could see me or not, but as I was going along, I was kind of stopping for a second and tapping it back down in place and then pulling just a little bit more. Here I'm not really doing anything productive. I'm kind of just playing with the transmission and working the shift drum and watching it, all the shift forks move and whatnot, and make sure everything seems to be doing what it's supposed to before I pull it out. I did reuse everything in the transmission. I gave it a quick look, and I basically took it out of these old cases and slid it right into the new one, into fresh bearings. That's pretty much where we're going to stop the video at. I've gone over a lot of stuff and been a lot of information given and a lot of work done. I haven't looked at my other video content of me assembling the engine to see how it did, but I'm afraid I've dropped the ball on it pretty bad. I'll try and get that video put together here soon and see what it looks like. But anyways, thanks for watching, and subscribe while you're here if you can.